It's November 9th. JLD here, and welcome to MSTR Today in the Treasury Titans. Today, we have a jam-packed Sunday episode, so give me a holla if you're happy on a Sunday. Michael Saylor's happy. What does he say? He says, buy now with a capital Bitcoin B. Why does Michael Saylor say this? Well, he's not playing the short game. He's not playing the days, weeks, months, even years game. He's playing the decades game. Now, he knows where Bitcoin's going. I know where Bitcoin's going. Of course, these are our opinions. These are our beliefs. This is what we know personally. And nothing in this video is financial advice. But listen, when Michael Saylor says buy now, and that's buy now with a capital Bitcoin B, I buy now. And a little side note, if you haven't read The Treasury of Michael Saylor yet, you have to read this book. If you own MSTR shares, go get the book. It will reaffirm your beliefs. I mean, it is unbelievable what future we have ahead of us. I just cannot get over how awesome this whole setup is. We have Chris that is sharing two things can simultaneously be true. One, short-term traders win within a 5-month time frame. Absolutely. Two, long-term investors win within a 5-year time frame. Know the game you're playing. And of course, this is in a little bit of a ode to James Chanos, who says, as we have gotten some inquiries, I can confirm that we have unwound our MSTR Bitcoin hedge trade as of yesterday's open. So the trade is over. James Chanos got a lot of crap from MSTR maxis and MSTR bulls, such as yours truly. I personally truly believed he was making a big mistake because I saw the catalyst on the horizon, and I believed that that MSTR, that strategy, was going to have an amazing 2025 and beyond, and it just hasn't worked out that way. He saw something that I didn't see. He saw that there was some choppiness coming up in the market that was going to cause sentiment to drop, that was going to cause MNAV to drop, that was going to cause his trade to win. But guess what? His trade won. Hats off to Jim Chanos. I also tip my cap to you. So you have won this round. Who knows? Maybe he becomes an MSTR bull going forward now that he sees that it's dropped all the way back down to almost a 1 MNAV. And now he sees what's going to happen in the future with Stretch, Strife, Strike, Stride, and Stream. Who knows? Maybe not. But Hugh believes the bottom is in. I believe the bottom is in, but only the Bitcoin price will truly tell us whether the bottom is in or not. Adam Livingston also wanted to say congrats to Jim Chanos on making money this year, shorting MSTR. His takeaways: MSTR has more Bitcoin than ever. True. Saylor harvested the premium just like he should. He should have done it more, says Adam. And I also agree with that. You know, Michael Saylor did make what we can now probably say was a slight mistake back on the Q2 earnings call when he decided that he was going to make the statement that they would not use the ATM unless the MNAV was above 2.5. The market didn't like that. They had to retract that. It obviously was not great for various reasons, and he missed a lot of harvesting of the premium of the ATM during that time as well. But MSR has more Bitcoin than ever. Your shares now carry more exposure. The flywheel still works. Bitcoin is going to move again. The ones who sold low gave you their coins. The ones who shorted it fueled the next leg. And now the biggest short who built the narrative has packed his bags and gone home. This chapter is closing. The next one is going to be insane. I agree with you, Adam, 100%. Zinc says, you think a measly $689 million in dividends is a risk to the company? Strategy has raised over $20 billion year to date with 641,205 Bitcoin on the balance sheet, worth over $65 billion. We're at the stage where we are starting to get posts about Strategy, quote unquote, collapsing soon. Of course, it's complete nonsense. Strategy was able to survive far harsher conditions between 2021 to the beginning of 2024. MSR did not surpass its all-time high for 3 years. I actually don't think these sort of people care about the facts, though. They're just taking every opportunity to crap on Saylor and MSTR. And by the way, spread FUD. They're probably shorting it anyways. And it's engagement. It's clickbait. These people are trying to make pennies by posting on X. And it's just sad to say. I bet that you individuals have no idea how the preferreds even work. If you did, you realize this company is very far away from blowing up. And again, just a clueless take from Jaguar Analytics. I don't even like giving these people airtime, so I'm going to actually scroll up right now because they're so clueless. Or They know exactly what they're doing, which is clickbait and engagement. Either way, it's pathetic. Hermes says, calling what strategy is doing simply as dilution is an incomplete statement that leads people to think something other than the truth. When the company prints shares to buy more Bitcoin, it does two things. It, one, reduces ownership stake in the company on a per share basis. Truth. And two, increases the value per share of the company's Bitcoin assets. True. Both can and are true. And as MSTR shareholders, that is the world that we live in. Hermes says, what Saylor is actually planning to spell out is frolicked. After all the press come out, get your head out of the gutter, people. And of course, some people are having some fun with strife, strike, stretch, strike, and stride. And of course, now stream is in there as well. So where are they going to put that in there? We'll see. But just having some fun. Zinc says, until Bitcoin reaches new all-time highs, don't expect much from MSTR, Metaplanet, or the other Bitcoin treasuries. Bitcoin price momentum to the upside is largely what causes speculators to return, thus expanding MNAV premiums again. Everything else is noise. People come up with all sorts of reasons as to why there is underperformance, but it's all futile, whilst sentiment for Bitcoin itself is poor. And that's the reality right now. Sentiment is poor. MNAV is going to contract. When sentiment becomes high, which it will, because the pendulum will swing, MNAV is going to swing high. Sentiment's going to swing high. It is the pendulum. And guess what? It's probably going to go too high. And at that point, some people, I wouldn't blame them for trimming some fat off. If MSTR gets up to 5 or 6 MNAV, we may have to start having those conversations. That'll be an insane price point. But at the end of the day, I love what's going on with Michael Saylor and strategy because they are doing everything right, in my opinion, to build a company and a success for decades, not for days, but for decades. Probably nothing, says the Bitcoin therapist. And this is from Ash Crypto, who says the last time the U.S. government reopened after a shutdown, Bitcoin made a 5-month rally, surging over 300%. So the government shut down over here, I'm supposing, somewhere. Not that far back, but it closed somewhere around here and went down. And then it reopens. It didn't go right back up, by the way. It kind of flushed out a little bit even more. But then essentially over the next 5 months, just had a 300% rally up into the right. So who knows? Time will tell. The Bitcoin therapist says, I can't wait to see how much Bitcoin strategy bought last week using Stretch. Any guesses? Go ahead, guess in the comments if you so desire how much Bitcoin strategy is going to purchase from this past Stretch week. This is not including their stream because I think that's going to be coming out the following week. So just have a guess. What do you think Stretch is going to bring in as far as the number of Bitcoin from last week? Obviously, it's a total guess. Who knows what they've been doing on the ATM? It could be a lot, could be a little, could be somewhere in between. But have some fun, have a guess, and maybe we'll have a little gift for somebody who guesses the closest to being correct. I'll put my guess in the comment section. I hope you do as well. Now let's sit back and let Michael Saylor take it away on the Schwab interview. Senator Cynthia Lummis recently announced that funding for a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve can start anytime. This is a massive step forward for a strategic crypto stockpile, and no surprise, was soon followed by a new all-time high for Bitcoin. If you're looking to buy more Bitcoin, BitIRA can help. In fact, BitIRA will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into Bitcoin. This also allows you to buy Bitcoin using pre-tax funds, then continue to invest in it over time as you do any other retirement account. And if you want, you can even add XRP, Ethereum, or other cryptos. BitIRA protects your assets with end-to-end insurance, highly secure storage, multi-encryption, and is registered with the US government. Your IRA is fully IRS compliant. Best of all, you can trade crypto within your retirement account without incurring taxes on any buys or sells. Just go to bitira.com/JLD and request a free info guide. Once you do that and open your IRA, you'll get a free ledger. Think about this. In March, President Trump signed an executive order for the Treasury to manage 200,000 Bitcoin as the foundation for a reserve. That's just the foundation. Go to bitira.com/JLD to open a tax-sheltered IRA in Bitcoin. Fire Nation, when you want more for your business, more privacy, more guidance, more success, it all starts with Northwest Registered Agents. These legends have been helping entrepreneurs launch and grow their businesses for nearly 30 years. They're the largest registered agent and LLC service in the US with over 1,500 corporate guides, real people who know your state's laws and actually care about helping you win. With Northwest, you can build your complete business identity, everything from what your customers see to what they don't, operating agreements, meeting minutes, compliance paperwork, and more. You'll get thousands of free resources, lawyer drafted forms, and step-by-step guides all in one place, and you don't even need to create an account to access them. Best part, privacy is automatic. Northwest never sells your data and handles everything in-house. Don't wait, protect your privacy, build your brand, and get your complete business identity in just 10 clicks and 10 minutes. Visit www.northwestregisteredagent.com/JLD free and start building something amazing. Get more with Northwest Registered Agent at www.northwestregisteredagent.com/JLD free.
I would submit to you, there's not a single thing you would buy in Africa. There isn't a capital asset that you want to give to your family or your great grandchildren. The same is true if you actually talk to people in China. They don't want to keep their money in China. There's a law against removing it from China. In Russia, in Ukraine, if you talk to Europeans, they don't want to have their money locked down in any country in Europe, right? They want to have their money. Where do people want their money? They want it in the U.S., right? How about Brazilians, Argentinians, Venezuelans? Most of the world doesn't want to take all of their family's wealth and store it locally in real estate, local stocks, local currency, local banks. That's why there are laws against them removing the money. And the problem with gold is if you have all your money in gold in Africa, you can't take it through the airport. You can't take if you have all your money in gold in Argentina, you can't bring it out of the country. So the value of Bitcoin is it's digital gold. So if you have your family's assets in Bitcoin, you can take it anywhere you want. No one can stop you from removing it from the jurisdiction. And the more insecure you are about the country you live in, the bank you do business with, the nation state you rely on, or your economic future, the more desirable it becomes. So in a nutshell, Bitcoin represents property rights for the human race. It represents economic prosperity, and we'll call it colloquial digital gold, but it's 100 times better than gold. You cannot teleport gold from here to Tokyo with the blink of an eye, right? And if you have gold, I can shoot you and take your gold. If you have Bitcoin, I can kill you, but I don't get the Bitcoin. And so it is a state change difference in the economic vitality of an individual, a company, a family, a nation state, the human race. And so that's why all of us in the crypto community, we really we revere Satoshi, and we think about the world before Satoshi and after Satoshi, because before Satoshi, everything you owned was subject to the permission of someone more powerful than you. And after Satoshi, after January 3rd, 2009, you could own something for yourself that no one can take away from you. And that is what's caused the entire 750 million person crypto movement.
What's the second best? There is no second best.